Here's the beast here. Of course, they have like no place to work whatsoever. No room. The way this comes out is just so drastically different from any video on the internet. It's almost impossible to get these darn things out. It shows on YouTube the guy's using a socket and ratchet, which is great if your seat still moves. Mine's stuck most of the way back, but not quite enough of the way back to get a socket and ratchet even with a universal joint into the front. I tried pretty much everything, and what I wound up that worked was just plain old 15mm wrench. This bottom one down here, it's angling back a little bit, and trying to get on that from here, you can't get it far enough down. I figured I could use this nice ratcheting wrench. No, it won't go on. Just a matter of fighting with it, and boy was it in there. I'm gonna go find some old change back here. 1980, that's a copper penny. Oh man, I just realized that whole time I was in S-Log 3. That's probably gonna look terrible. This right here is pretty much like half the reason why I decided to do this. I wanted to give it the old high tower, sit in the back seat. Now, I've never actually tried to get into the back seat of this except for this time. There's no way an adult can sit, at least a reasonable sized adult, not even like me, but sit up in this back seat. My head's touching the ceiling and I'm practically laying down. If I actually sit up straight, I gotta go over like this. My shoulder is darn near in the ceiling. I can reach the pedals though. So in case you haven't seen them, this is how they work. They sit on the floor like this. They go through the old mounting points and then they move your seat back. I'm going to say 3 inches. Now the only issue I can see here is this looks a little bit higher than this, and this is definitely a little higher than that. I'm not sure if it's going to put the seat up too high or not. I also got a manual seat rack, again from late model restoration, and this is good and solid. It's just manual. I don't care about the power seat. Now my power seat is stuck most of the way to the back, not quite, but most of the way there. And you notice where it mounts to the floor in relation to where it mounts to the seat. Almost even on the front. This is the front of the seat. You can see the back's down there. If I line up the mounting holes here, better not use that one because it's variable. Let's use the back one. Just approximately line it up like that. Look at where the seat mounts here compared to where the seat mounts here. Now this is pushing this rack back a little bit. That's where your hand has to go. I don't really see any stops to stop it from like cutting your hand off, so I would want to be careful of that. But this is enough that you're not going to get pinched, like it has an extreme adjustment. From here to here, that's about 4 inches right there. So I think even just with this, I'm going to be able to get like a 4-inch further back adjustment than I had it. So these are just 10mm bolts to take the seat frame off. The other thing is they say that the seat bracket does not fit the holes on the seats. You have to like make a hole larger or something. Or looking at it, I think it's going to fit. Oh, that's right. There's a wiring harness here. Got to come off. Okay, now the power seat comes off. There we go. This is where we're going to see if this fits directly on here or not. Do the holes line up? The holes do not line up. Or do they? Wait a minute. I'm going to give it a little of the old, just turn it a little harder and see what happens. Yep, it most definitely does fit just the way it is with my seat, at least in a 94 Mustang. Okay, now we've run into a problem, guys. These don't fit in this car, not in the convertible. The one on this side is fine, but the one on this side won't go, at least not in my convertible. As you can tell, it's angled up like this. It will not go flat because there is something under here, and I can feel it right there. It goes like this. That is a no-go. It will not fit. Period. Just going to have to try putting the seat in, and hopefully that new seat track will give me enough adjustment. Now to do this without knocking the camera over. That's like #1 priority here. Okay, right now this looks pretty good. Like it's way too far forward for me, but it's pretty much in like the center position or towards the front on the track. So if it will slide back enough on the track, it should be fine. Important note, the bolts they send you with are 13mm. That's why the 15mm wrench doesn't work on it. Stock bolts are 15mm though. I'm not totally crazy, just partially there. Well, I don't know, that is a bit better. Never noticed, but This seatbelt thing won't let me go back any further anyway. Hopes and dreams just being dashed left and right here. Needs a window regulator too. Yeah, that's for another day. Okay, so now that I have the seat straight up and pushed all the way to the back, I pushed myself right back in the seat. It feels much more comfortable. I have 1 inch from my knee to the dash on the right-hand side and approximately 1.5 inches on the left. It's definitely way better than it was because I was like straight up into the dash before. The question now is this even going to work with the roof? Let's put the roof up and see. Just start this up to help it out a little bit. One of these days I'm going to take all that stuff off up there before it falls on me. Well, the roof is closed. That's true. However, there is a small problem which you might be able to see here. Can you see my head through it? No, there's padding in there. You can't see it, but it's closed on my head. So this is not a way that I can drive. So it means I have to gangster rake the seat back again a little bit. Let's go to 1. Okay, this is doable. My hair is touching, but my head is not pressing like right through it. So this could be doable. I'm going to say this is an improvement. Is it comfortable yet? No way, nowhere near it. However, I can use the left turn signal now, and that's a big bonus from where it was before. Oh well, small victories. At least it went in there. And hey, if you have a 94 or probably any SN95 Mustang convertible, those seat track extenders are probably not going to work for you. However, the regular manual seat will give you, I'm going to say, another 3 inches probably of movement. So that's better than nothing. It's definitely better than it was. Still not comfortable.